EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as there's now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. From the gun, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Prescott. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that
super one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Prescott rolling to his left. He's going to take off with it. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
40. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. His throw incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Prescott. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Breeze now to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Check 55 to Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And this is Cook with the ground. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, it's Breeze. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
To throw, it's Breeze. He's got Smith here. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Breeze to throw. It's caught. Smith. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And when you're playing quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. It's caught by Sanders.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Breeze. Finding Taysom Hill complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Check. Walk 54. Got one. Ready, check.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
Breeze's throw on target to Cook, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 27-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal.
Check girls.
Breeze now. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have taken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. He'll look to throw. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big game.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. It's tight end Witten, and the Cowboys have a first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the...
Let's get it.
Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set.
Mike, 56, right there.
He's back to throw. Going for a right side here, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Back to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. But it's going to be second down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
That one combined to hurry to the line on the very outskirts of field goal range. Now Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Prescott now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1.
We got this.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The dump off good for 8 there on first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39.
That was simply snap, rock, and fire. I mean, they didn't take long at all. Slant route, and I loved where he put it. He put on the body of the receiver low so that only he can catch it.
Yeah, I don't think there was any magical formula there. Defensively, that's just tough to defend.
Very much so, and that way it allows the receiver to keep his body in front of the defender and not allow him to go through him to knock the ball away.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 29. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here in OT. Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches. Now Prescott. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Breeze. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Breeze now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Now Breeze again. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Breeze to throw again. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready? Yellow lady. Check, check. Block 54. Block 54. There's a party now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready? Yellow lady. Yellow lady. Check back. Check back.
Breeze now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. A loss of 2 there, second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Breeze going to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This a long one to try and keep us going in overtime. And his kick is good. A gut-wrenching moment, but he's able to bang it through from long distance. And they match an earlier OT field goal with one of their own. Just a big-time kick there from a big-time kicker.
I like how you use big-time because we usually say that about position players, don't we? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Well, that goes for kickers as well. And guess what? We're on to sudden death now.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now at their 20.
As well as physical conditioning is going to determine who wins this one.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Complete to Jason Witten. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
He's going to air one out. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Cowboys. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.